You know that specific feeling you get when you walk into a generic hotel room? You drop your bags, you look around, and everything is just
The
beige.
corporate beige, I know it well.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
harmless, but it's also so soul-sucking. You can't find the light switch. The kettle is like hidden in a wardrobe somewhere.
Right.
And within 5 minutes, you have this sinking feeling that you're going to be living out of a suitcase for the next 3 weeks.
It's that sense of being untethered, the transient drift. And for a business traveler, that is the absolute enemy of productivity.
Then there's the flip side, that concept we hear all the time,
hmm
a home away from home,
Usually just a tagline.
usually.
Yeah.
But for the people we're talking about today, the digital nomads, the consultants on month-long projects, that phrase isn't just marketing fluff, it's a necessity.
It is. It's the difference between just enduring a trip and actually, living your life while you're away.
And that is exactly what we're unpacking today. We're doing a deep dive into the evolution of the extended stay. And we aren't just talking about a hotel room with the microwave shoved in the corner.
No, this is something else. We're talking about a shift toward serious luxury, heritage, and genuine livability. It's a fascinating pivot.
It really is. And to navigate this, we're looking through the lens of a real industry veteran, moveandstay.com. Because if you're just booking on generic travel sites, you're missing this whole layer of the market.
Absolutely. Move and Stay has been the heavy lifter in this specific niche for over 25 years.
A quarter of a century. I mean, in internet years, that's ancient.
It is. And their focus has always been so specific, connecting professionals, entrepreneurs, and corporate teams with extended stay solutions, mainly across Asia Pacific.
So serviced apartments, serviced offices.
Exactly. Places designed for stays that are longer than just a few days. They aren't trying to sell you a backpacker hostel or a 2-night vacation package.
No, they're dealing with the real infrastructure of global mobility. For people who need to land in a city like Bangkok or Tokyo and just be operational instantly.
Right.
So using that as our backdrop, we have a case study today that I think really proves where this market is going. We're looking at a major play by the Hong Kong hospitality group, Lanson Place.
And this is a really significant development.
They're making their grand debut in Australia, but they didn't just build some shiny new glass box. They took an $80 million gamble on a 123-year-old building.
Which is incredibly risky.
That's what I want to get into. So our mission today is to figure out the logic. We're going to look at the hardware, this insane heritage restoration, the struggle to get it built, and what it signals for the future of how we live and work globally.
Let's get into it.
All right, part one, the expansion. Lanson Place goes down under. Now, if you haven't done business in Asia, you might not know the brand. Who exactly is Lanson Place?
Think of them as the quiet luxury of the service department world. They're based in Hong Kong, and they manage a portfolio of these boutique luxury hotels and serviced residences.
Okay.
So if you've been to Shanghai, Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, you've likely walked past one. They currently manage 11 properties in these key hubs.
And these are what we call gateway cities, right?
Precisely, the entry points for international business in Asia. And Lanson Place has a very specific reputation there. It's not the massive impersonal chain experience.
You're not just a room number.
No. It's
Okay.
high touch, very design forward, and it's heavily focused on that move-in stay demographic we mentioned, people staying for weeks, not just days.
And now they've planted a flag in Melbourne, Lanson Place Parliament Gardens. So why does this matter? Is it just Company A opens Hotel B?
No, it's much more significant than that. This is their first property in Australia. It's a strategic break from their comfort zone. They're taking a brand that's, very culturally tuned to Asian hospitality and transplanting it.
Into a Western market. That's a difficult translation to make, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's very different. In Hong Kong or Singapore, luxury service is often defined by anticipation. It's invisible, rapid.
Right. And Australia is famous for being friendly, egalitarian, the no worries attitude.
Exactly. So bringing that high-touch Asian brand to Melbourne is a bit of an experiment. It's a signal that they believe their brand of personal sanctuary can transcend borders.
So they're betting that the global mobile workforce, the users on platforms like Move and Stay, they want that same consistency no matter what continent they're on.
That's the bet. That the service in Hong Kong should be the service in Melbourne.
Bold. I like it. Okay, let's talk about the physical reality of this bet. Part two, the hardware. You said this wasn't a new build?
No, and this is where the story gets really texture-rich. They bought the former Salvation Army printing works.
The printing works. I just love the sound of that.
It was built in, what, roughly 1900, located right on the edge of the city, overlooking Parliament Gardens.
I just want to pause on that for a second. The printing works. 100 years ago, this place wouldn't have been some quiet luxury retreat.
Not at all. It would have been loud. Industrial.
Smelling of ink and grease and paper dust.
Massive iron presses clanking away, churning out the war cry newspaper. It was a factory.
And now it's a luxury sanctuary. That contrast is just wild. But from a development standpoint, isn't that a nightmare?
It's what we call an adaptive reuse challenge.
Adaptive reuse.
Ah.
Sounds expensive.
It is always more expensive and more complicated than just knocking it down. You're taking a structure designed for heavy industry and trying to fit in, plumbing for luxury showers and high-speed fiber optics.
But how do you even do that?
Well, you bring in the heavy hitters. The architecture was by Denton Corker Marshall, and the interiors were by Conran and Partners.
Conran, as in the British design legend.
The very same.
Wow.
So you have this incredible pedigree, and what they did was fascinating. They kept the heritage shelf for the public spaces, the lobby, the restaurant, the bar.
You walk in and you feel that history.
Exactly. You see the high ceilings, the original brickwork, the sheer scale of the place.
But you can't fit 137 rooms in an old printing factory, can you?
No, physically impossible. So what they did was they built a new structure, a 15-story accommodation tower that rises up out of that heritage base.
Ah, so it's a blend, a conversation between the two eras. But what about the rooms for that move and stay audience?
Right, this is the critical part. It's a hybrid. They have hotel rooms, yes, but they also have fully serviced studio, 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom apartments.
Okay, walk me through the difference, because I think people use serviced apartment and hotel suite interchangeably.
And they're not the same thing. A hotel suite might have a sofa. A serviced apartment has a proper kitchenette, a stove, a fridge, usually laundry. It's designed for living, not just staying.
So I can actually cook a meal. I can do my laundry without paying $20 for one pair of socks.
Exactly. And here, they've integrated that into a luxury setting. So you get the concierge and the pool, but you also have your own self-contained ecosystem.
That hybrid model seems to be the holy grail right now.
It is. Because business travel has changed. You might be there for a 3-day conference, or you might be there for 3 weeks. This building caters to both.
But getting to this point,
Yeah.
we mentioned the cost. $80 million.
$80 million.
Part 3, the journey. This wasn't just write a check and cut the ribbon, was it?
Not even close. This was a 6-year odyssey.
6 years. In the hospitality world, trends can completely change in 6 years.
They do, and look at the timeline. They started this process, and then 2020 happened.
The pandemic.
And this is Melbourne, which had some of the longest, strictest lockdowns in the world. Construction sites were frozen. Supply chains just evaporated.
Wow. And then, on top of that,
The worst-case scenario. The original builder collapsed.
ouch. I mean, what does that even mean for a project this big?
It's catastrophic. You have a half-finished, fragile heritage site exposed to the elements. You have massive legal entanglements. And you have to find a new builder willing to take on someone else's half-done work.
Most developers would have just walked away. Or at least, cut corners.
Cancel the Conran interiors. We're putting in flat-pack furniture.
Exactly. Switch the marble to laminate. But they didn't. Lanson Place and the developer, Woodlink, they stuck to the vision.
I think it's about brand equity. This is their Australian flagship. If they opened a compromised product, they'd damage their reputation before they even started. They played the long game.
That resilience is impressive. It signals they're not just here to flip a property.
It signals they're here to stay.
Okay, so let's zoom out. Part 4. The strategy. They've endured this 6-year nightmare, spent $80 million, and they finally opened the doors. What's the game plan now?
Well, their corporate strategy seems quite clear. They've identified 2 main targets for expansion, Australia and Japan.
Japan makes total sense. High volume of business travel, appreciation for service. But why double down on Australia?
It's the flow of capital and people. The corridor between Southeast Asia and Australia is incredibly busy, so they can capture their existing customers who are traveling south. It's a network effect.
And how are they growing? Are they buying up old factories everywhere?
No, and this is a key distinction. They're focusing on management contracts.
Explain that.
Sure. So instead of owning the land and the building, which ties up a lot of cash.
Right, you need $80 million for every project.
Exactly. With a management contract, a developer owns the building. Lanson Place comes in as the operator. They bring the brand, the software, the staff, and they get a fee for managing it.
So it lets them scale much faster.
Much faster. It's an asset-light strategy that prioritizes brand reach over just owning real estate.
Okay, but here's something interesting from the source material. It mentions they're noticing a trend toward shorter-term stays. Isn't that a contradiction? Extended stay for 2 nights.
It sounds like one, doesn't it? But it's about space and control. Even for a short trip, travelers are tired of the shoebox hotel room. They want a living area. They want to be able to make a coffee that isn't instant powder.
So Lanson Place is adapting. They're offering the amenity of an apartment with the flexibility of a hotel booking. This circles back to MoveAndStay.com so perfectly. For 25 years, they've been pushing this idea, and it feels like the market has finally caught up.
The lines are blurring. It used to be. Hotel for 3 days, serviced apartment for 3 months. Now, that middle ground, the bleisure traveler, the project consultant, is the fastest growing segment.
Bleisure. I still hate that word, but I accept the phenomenon is real.
It is, and properties like Parliament Gardens are the physical manifestation of that word.
So if I'm a user on Move and Stay and I see this property, what's the guarantee?
That's the value proposition, the curation. Move and Stay has spent 25 years vetting this stuff. When they list a property like this, it's a signal. It means you aren't booking some random place that might have a leaky faucet. You're booking professional infrastructure.
Enterprise-grade Wi-Fi versus stealing the neighbor's signal.
Right, security, a concierge. For a business traveler, these aren't luxuries. They're operational requirements. Reliability is the ultimate luxury.
Okay, let's bring this all together. What are the key takeaways?
Well, first, the big news. Lanson Place has successfully jumped from Asia to Australia, a major strategic expansion.
Second, the hardware. A masterclass in adaptive reuse, taking a 123-year-old industrial site and making it a luxury destination.
And third, resilience. $80 million in 6 years, surviving a pandemic and a builder collapse. It shows a massive commitment.
And finally, the trend line.
The blurring of hotel and home, the rise of the hybrid model.
It really does feel like the end of the cookie-cutter era of business travel. People want a narrative. They want a sense of place.
And that's the so what for the listener. You don't have to choose between cool but inconvenient and boring but functional anymore. The market is forcing those two together.
And the winner is the traveler.
Exactly.
I want to leave you with one last thought. We talked a lot about the printing works, the history in those walls.
A powerful element.
Here's my question. Does staying in a place with history, with 123 years of stories in the brickwork, actually change the way you work?
That's a deep question.
I mean, does waking up in a restored 19th century factory inspire a different kind of thinking than waking up in a generic glass tower on the 45th floor?
I know it would for me. It grounds you. It connects you to the city in a way a new tower never could.
Something to think about next time you're scrolling through Move and Stay looking for your next HQ. Thanks for diving in with us.
A pleasure, as always.